Workers' Paradise Big Apple bring photo ID. This is the Alligator News Roundup. Plus, dogs rise up in Times Square to protest canine phobia. Olympics protested in Milan for unspecified reasons. Defunding the police is a great idea until the mayor's car gets stolen. Here we go.
Number 4. New York Post. Mamdani blasted for requiring 5 forms of ID to shovel snow while DSA opposed voter ID.
Earlier this month, new Mayor Mamdani, New York City, was criticized for failed snow removal efforts. That had to be hurtful, as it ran contrary to the warmth of collectivism that he had introduced to the city through his office. In that earlier event, trash had backed up. Sanitation services were slowed by heaps of snow that stubbornly refused to melt away as they clung bitterly to the frigidity of rugged individualism. Mayor Mamdani cannot be said to be a slow learner. After this week's record snowfall, he put forth an ingenious solution. He has invited New Yorkers of all stripes to bring their snow shovels and report for assignment to help clean the city. If I were a real entrepreneur, I would have figured out how to sell snow shovels to those caught without them. Perhaps a battery-powered heater in the long handle could demonstrate that elusive collectivist warmth. The snow shovel wielders are welcome in the Big Apple as long as they have 5, count them 5, forms of identification. 2 small photos sized 1 to 1.5 square inches, 2 original forms of ID plus copies, and 1 Social Security card. In exchange, members of the Shovel Brigade will be paid $19.14 an hour, with time and a half for over 40 hours. 40 hours shoveling snow? Don't they make tractors for that? Well, it makes sense. These New Yorkers are asked to engage in important work ensuring a responsible, cohesive, and trash-free community, shoveling snow. Meanwhile, engaging in a completely useless activity like voting requires no ID at all. On another level, it seems the warmth of collectivism didn't take long to be reduced to an hourly rate, with time and a half for overtime. And wait, this just in. At press time, the devastation of Winter Storm Hernando has dropped 15 inches of snow and left 250,000 residents without power. The sudden realization of how bad the bomb cyclone really is has pushed Mayor Mamdani to raise snow shoveler pay to $30 an hour. The warmth of collectivism suddenly pays better under the frigidity of the free market.
Number 3. The Daily Mail. Famous Palestinian activist jokes that dogs should be banned as indoor pets in New York City after seeing poop-filled snowdrifts.
Speaking of new ideas in Manhattan, dogs have become canine non grata, according to some with strong religious convictions. According to Islamic law, according to a Palestinian activist, dogs are not legitimate pets. They are unclean, or so says one Nurdin Kiswani in her post on X. While dogs do have a place in society, she says, that place is not inside a human's home. Dogs must remain outside. Now, having been around various dog critters most of my life, I cannot say I fundamentally disagree with the unclean part. But who or what I let in my home ain't really her business. Not surprisingly, there was considerable backlash over her comments, due in large part to a huge segment of New York City society with nothing to do but peruse X looking for things to be outraged about. And outraged they were, to the extent that the sincere Palestinian protester, who probably holds her convictions stronger than life itself, immediately backed off. It's obviously a joke, she posted later. I don't care if you have a dog. Now, being a Christian who tends towards cynicism, I might wonder if that is slightly disingenuous. Everything I have read on the subject, which is not a lot, points to Muhammad asserting that dogs are haram, unclean. He ordered that they be kept out of the house, if not outright killed. That seems a little extreme. They are only dogs after all, but I guess that'd do it. The tete-a-tete with Ms. Kaswami's post on X resulted in dog owners proudly parading their pets in Times Square in an event named Wag the Night Away. It was scheduled for last Friday night, the first night of Ramadan. I think everyone in the city knew it was Ramadan because of the loudspeaker-enabled call to prayer that started at 5 a.m. that day. It's lovely to see lively debate among people of goodwill who hold strong opinions. Next, there will be mostly peaceful riots to really make the point.
Number 2. Breitbart. Chaos erupts in Milan as radical leftists clash with police over unsustainable Olympics.
Multiple unspecified leftist groups have protested the Olympics for multiple unspecified reasons. Some 5,000 protesters turned out in Milan last week. For some, It had to do with all the wood used to build the bobsled track because the deforestation required was unsustainable. I suppose they may have a point. If we harvest that many trees for the next, say, 800 years, it could potentially end up being a problem. I am trying my best to get worked up about it. For others, it involved prohibiting testosterone-powered men from beating up on estrogen-charged women, because nothing is more important than letting men beat up women, as long as it is part of an approved Olympic event, and as long as the men claim they are women. I thought women liked it when women were protected from physical abuse. Maybe I had that wrong all this time. Even constructing the satire is confusing. Others demonstrating were promoting Palestinian something. Trade unions were, of course, involved because why not? ICE was naturally mentioned in a negative light. And Antifa beat up some police officers because, again, why not? All of which leaves me a little confused over what role the Olympics played in this. I mean, I agree that curling is as pointless a sport as ever existed, but the linkage between that and torching a police car remains a little fuzzy to me. In about 1971, I was in a high school band invited to play at some Kansas statewide music event, KMEA convention, probably. It was quite an honor, of course, which was mostly lost on me. Making the tuba part work without embarrassing myself was bad enough without any added pressure. After the concert, attended by about 1,000 people, my dad observed with his characteristic dry humor, "I guess that proves it. You can get a crowd up for anything." That is as good an explanation as any for 5,000 crazed rioters at the Olympics. I guess I'm sorry they were so upset, but I'm still perplexed what all the fuss was about.
Number 1. Red State. Barbara Lee praised defunding police. Now her SUV has been swiped from City Hall.
I would never condone grand theft auto, but there is some rich karma here. 5 years ago, current Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee went to great lengths to support the pledge by Minneapolis City Council to defund their police department. You may recall that was the summer of George Floyd, filled with mostly peaceful protests that cost insurance companies maybe $2 billion, killed 25, plus 14 others who died in protest-adjacent violence, and injured 900 police officers. This week, Mayor Lee began to soft pedal her previous position after her city-owned SUV was stolen from the City Hall parking garage. It is not clear whether this happened during working hours or at night. Someone broke into her office, stole her car keys, and then stole the car. One thing is clear from her comments after the fact. This is definitely not a result of defunding police in Oakland. In an interview with KRON4 in San Francisco, she asserted, I've never uttered defund the police. I understand the need for public safety for everyone." She is probably sincere now. Of course, she was probably sincere in 2020 also. And while I am sincerely tired of the doublespeak, I do take some perverse joy in the karma. And thanks for joining the Alligator News Roundup for Friday, February 27, 2026. Pay attention to the news and find something to really get yourself worked up about. Or if you feel like earning a paycheck, catch a flight to New York City with all the ID cards you can muster and collect a righteous $30 an hour for helping scoop snow. I have a feeling it may be around for a while. You might want to ask the airline if you can check the snow shovel. I wouldn't try to take it through security. Have a good weekend.
If you happen to get a gig doing the snow thing in New York, be sure to watch out for the dog bombs. They are harem, after all. See you next week.